Iran's Hormuz toll plan gets China's backing as Washington watches from the sidelines. Amid Gulf turmoil, Iran gives China a privileged lane through the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran appears to offer Beijing special transit privileges under its new Hormuz shipping framework. US sidelined as Iran moves China to the front of the queue in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's ambassador to China said Beijing would receive special treatment under Iran's proposed new arrangement for the Strait of Hormuz. Ambassador Abdolreza Ramoni Fazli said friendly countries would receive preferential treatment under the planned transit framework. The remarks were made during a speech at the World Peace Forum held in Beijing on July 4. Fazli said the new transit mechanism would be implemented in coordination with Oman to facilitate shipping through Hormuz. The envoy said the proposed arrangement would include transit fees for vessels passing through the strategic waterway. According to Fazli, the proposed fees would not violate international law or the principle of freedom of navigation. The Iranian ambassador did not specify when the new transit arrangement or its proposed fee structure would come into effect. Iran's intelligence ministry has vowed to avenge Ali Khamenei's killing amid the funeral ceremonies, turning grief into a powerful call for retaliation. Tehran blamed the US and Israel for Khamenei's assassination, according to Iran International, and said only revenge can heal the wounds of the Iranian people. The ministry pledged retaliation against those it holds responsible for Khamenei's death, raising the tone from accusation to open threat. The statement also reaffirmed loyalty to Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, signaling that Iran's leadership wants to project unity and continuity. Iran vowed revenge for the blood of Khamenei and other victims of the strikes, framing the conflict in deeply emotional and uncompromising terms. Tehran referred to the clashes as Iran's second and third imposed wars, accusing Israel and the US of waging war against the Islamic Republic. The ministry said its pursuit of revenge would continue under Mojtaba Khamenei, suggesting a long-term response rather than a one-off warning. The statement was released by Iran's state media on Saturday, July 4, 2026. Iran will begin 6 days of state funeral ceremonies for Ali Khamenei on July 4, launching a tightly planned period of mourning that will dominate the nation's calendar. The late supreme leader will be laid to rest on July 9, after a series of nationwide ceremonies that move his coffin through some of Shiite Islam's holiest cities. Officials expect millions of people to line the streets for processions across Iran during the state farewell, turning each city into a sea of black banners and flags. Tehran's mayor has suggested the capital alone could see up to 20 million mourners pass through over several days, a logistical and security operation on an epic scale. Authorities say parallel mourning events in Qom, Mashhad, Najaf and Karbala are also expected to draw huge crowds, extending the farewell beyond Iran's borders. Iranian officials insist the ceremonies will demonstrate national unity after months of war and crisis, projecting an image of cohesion around the new leadership. The mourning events will move from Tehran to the seminary city of Qom before the final burial in Mashhad, following a symbolic route through Iran's religious heartland. The state funeral is widely seen as Mojtaba Khamenei's first major test as supreme leader, setting the tone for how he will handle both symbolism and security. Mojtaba has not yet appeared publicly since assuming the country's top leadership position, leaving many Iranians wondering how visible he will choose to be. Observers will watch closely to see whether Mojtaba leads the main funeral prayer in Tehran, a moment that could cement his authority in front of millions and the cameras. The IRGC has intensified ground, naval, and air force deployments to secure the funeral ceremonies from any threat. The military has expanded its border presence as foreign leaders and dignitaries arrive in Iran for the high-profile events. Iran's Air Defense Force is conducting continuous surveillance of the country's airspace throughout the funeral period. Air defense units are also managing air traffic to ensure secure skies during the funeral ceremonies and related movements. Iran's police chief said 265,000 troops have been mobilized to secure Khamenei's funeral, turning the ceremony into a massive security operation. Iran's Air Force and Navy remain on full operational alert throughout the ceremonies, with defenses locked in from start to finish. Army helicopter units are also on full readiness to support air traffic and respond to any emergency that may arise. Those helicopter units are coordinating with relief agencies for medical evacuation and rescue operations if the situation turns critical. Amid all this, Iran has warned the US and Israel against any attack ahead of Khamenei's state funeral. A top Iranian commander said any US or Israeli strike would trigger harsh retaliation, raising the stakes even higher. Iran's Ali Abdullahi has challenged the US and Israel with a blunt warning ahead of Khamenei's funeral, and I quote, "We warn the enemies of Iran, especially the US and the Zionist regime, Israel, to avoid any miscalculation and to think about the harsh retaliation our armed forces would make to any threat and aggression against our country." Notably, Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that the US military has decimated Iran's armed forces.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.